We're back.
We are back. Welcome to another weird episode of Twitching UpStream, which is, honestly, it's my favorite show that we do on Tuesdays.
Yeah, me too.
Of all the shows on Tuesdays,
yeah,
this one is my favorite.
Of all the shows we've ever done, this is definitely one of them.
This is one of the shows that we've ever done, and one of the shows we're ever going to do. Anyway, we are Some Nobodies. My name is Zach. This is Dylan over there. He's sitting right in front of the plant for more oxygen, because why not? And this show is Twitching UpStream, which is kind of an offshoot of one of our other shows called Talking UpStream. You can find that on the YouTube channel and probably some Pandora, like the bracelet of podcasting. You can find that on podcasting and other, in that show, what we do is we find other creators, people that have created podcasts, movies, books, really anything, kites, similar stuff. That was a weird episode. And we kind of get their opinion on the creation process, why they do it, how they do it, and then we kind of pitch ideas to them, and then together, collaboratorily,
sure, whatever word you want to use.
You gotta start typing words for me to read. When I just start rambling, you know how it gets. Anyway, so what we decided to do was, instead of just keep pitching new ideas, we would take some of our favorite ideas and we would just really hone them down and make them something that hopefully in the future we could turn into either another show, a TV show, or really sell out and make this into a movie or whatever. And that's why we're calling it Twitching / Talking UpStream, because we're trying to talk ourselves up to a streaming service. We really hardcore want to sell out. Like, really. Who's like the biggest sellout, in your opinion? Number one sellout.
Oh, man. Brett Ratner? I don't know. Selling out implies that...
Sellout?
Selling out implies, I guess, that you ever had integrity in the first place.
He's kind of a piece of shit. So.
Well, he is, but he also does exactly what people want him to do no matter what.
Yeah.
For money.
Yeah, I kind of feel like selling out is like you get known for something, you have a lot of pride in something, and then because of money, you're like, I don't even care anymore. I'll just do anything.
Shaq?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. We want to be the
next Shaq.
We want to be the Shaqs of podcasting / media creation. But before we get into what we're doing on this show, feel free to subscribe and like it. If you like what we do, please let us know. You can let us know silently by liking or subscribing. You can let us know vocally by texting Dylan all in caps and using a lot of exclamation points, because okay, apparently you're not on the text Dylan anymore.
Still prepped. I've had that banner up since like the third episode.
He's got way too many text messages, mostly for me, but he does not need any more. Usually before we get into the creation process, I have a lot of weird nerd news that I have scoured the internet, or at least Google homepage, and found some weird stuff to talk about. I'm not going to do that this week, and I haven't in the last couple weeks, mostly because there's not really a whole lot to talk about. Hawkeye's coming out tomorrow, so check that out. Masters of the Universe Part 2 came out on Netflix today. Please watch that. That is a beautiful show. But what I decided to do this week, to Dylan's surprise, is I'm going to quiz him on his movie trivia. If you don't know, Dylan is not only on a movie review podcast called Real Boys, he's also a mega fan of a movie review podcast called OMG Movie Podcast, where they go over the hits of yesteryear and tomorrow years.
Yeah.
They don't go over future movies.
I don't know.
Anyway. But I've compiled a list of the most obvious movie questions.
Okay.
And I'm going to hit you with a couple, at lightning speed.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
And then once we get done with this, we're going to get into the creation process. And if you haven't been watching the last couple or listening to the last couple, we just wrapped up that cool project that we were calling
Sleeper Agent.
Sleeper Agent. I want to say Force Limit constantly for some reason.
That was a fun project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very fun. So
not that Sleeper Agent wasn't.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
I actually like Sleeper Agent a little more. Force Project or Force Limit is kind of stupid.
What?
Just kidding. So episode 5 of Sleeper Agent was last week, and we're going to hop into a new one today after Dylan proves me wrong with his movie knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I tell people, like, Dylan doesn't know anything about movies.
Ever. About anything.
Yeah.
Let's prove him right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Lightning round.
Okay.
1,000 questions.
Okay.
Here we go. Number 1. What are the dying words of Charles Foster Kane in Citizen Kane?
Tulip bulb.
Incorrect as always. Number 2. Who played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate?
Gal Gadot.
Nope.
Oh.
Number 3. What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released?
Fern Gully.
Part 2.
Yes.
Number 4.
Do I need to specify?
Not anymore.
Okay.
We're past that one. In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
I think he takes both, and the entire movie is his trip.
Incorrect. It's red. Number 5. For what movie did Tom Hanks score his first Academy Award nomination?
Joe versus the Volcano.
Incorrect. Big. Number 6. In 1927, this musical was the first talkie.
Pass.
Hey, you're right.
Oh.
No.
All right. Cool. All right.
What a boring movie. Number 7. What was the name of the skyscraper in Die Hard?
Die Hard.
Tower.
Oh.
Number 8. What flavor of Pop-Tarts does Buddy the Elf use on his spaghetti in Elf?
Ribeye.
Incorrect. Number 9. What was the shocking Wes Craven horror movie carried the marketing tagline, "To avoid fainting, keep repeating, it's only a movie"?
It's only a movie?
It's only a movie.
That's my answer with a question
It's
mark.
only a movie.
It's only a movie?
It's only a movie.
Yeah.
I'm very clear.
Yeah.
It's only a movie.
Yes.
I guess we'll just pass. Number 10. What pop vocal group performs at weddings in Bridesmaid?
Vitamin C.
Wilson Phillips. What real-life on-again, off-again Hollywood power couple starred in the film Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray.
Well, shockingly, that's correct.
Oh.
Next question. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray.
That was a layup. Number 12. What American writer-director starred in several iconic European-produced spaghetti westerns?
Wes Craven.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh.
Who played juror number 8 in 12 Angry Men?
Clint Eastwood?
Nope.
I thought I was more prepared.
You gotta stop saying Clint Eastwood to every question
I only
you.
did it twice.
Especially when I ask you what you want for dinner. Number 14. The head of what kind of animal is front and center in an infamous scene in The Godfather?
Human.
A horse.
Oh.
Well, I guess technically you're right. Well, you're an animal.
I am an animal.
I've just watched you eat a bunch of pizza rolls.
Yeah.
Like a llama.
One after the other.
Like an absolute animal.
Spitting.
All right, number 100. What TV show is Jack Nicholson referencing when he ad-libbed "Here's Johnny" in The Shining?
A Serbian film.
Well, Dylan comes up with 0.
They adapted it for TV.
I hate every time you bring up Serbian film.
That's why I do it.
It shuts me down. It almost makes my bones cry. It makes this my innards just sad.
Next question.
I'm done.
Oh.
Wait, I'm going to give you one bonus question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You got to get this one right.
Okay.
Question 42, and also for the win. Consider this the snitch of trivia questions. Like if you get
Break
this,
its kneecaps in the shower? Harry Potter snitch.
No, not your snitch.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Actually, we're not going to do 42. Let's go over to number 55. Joaquin Phoenix received his first Oscar nomination for playing Roman Emperor Commodus in what 2000 Oscar-winning comedy?
The Riddler. Sorry, not the
I need you to be
Riddler.
I need you to be more specific.
Todd Phillips, the Riddler.
Nope.
Jason Biggs, the Riddler.
I'm looking for the Radiator.
Oh. I thought that was River Phoenix.
Ridley Scott's 3, The Gradiator.
The Gradiator?
The Gradiator. It's like just levels of color.
Yeah, it's set in San Francisco, right? And they make that big hill even hillier.
Yeah, but with colors.
Yeah.
And emotion.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, that was awful. So I think I'm probably going to go back to news next time.
I like this segment.
Here we go, lightning round. Who played the unsinkable Molly Brown in Titanic?
Molly Ringwald.
Kathy Bates. In the action thriller Speed, why is Annie, Sandra Bullock, why is her driver's license suspended?
Because she helped a young teenager of color win in football.
I'm not going to touch that one. 59. The Battle of Thermopylae.
Thermopylae.
Battle of Thermopylae served as the basis of what highly stylized 2006 smash hit Sword and Scandal action flick?
Sword and Scandal? That's pretty good, actually. We'll pin in that for later. 302, Rise of an Empire.
Also known as 301.
They really messed up the titling on those movies.
302, 301.
302 Dalmatians.
It's only 301 of them, but it's the second one, so it makes sense.
They held up the Persian cat emperor.
For the win, what is the highest grossing foreign language film at the U.S. box office?
Citizen Kane.
Sylvester Stallone. Now let's get on with the regular. I don't know.
Wait, what?
I think I kind of skipped.
You meant foreign language from outside of America, right? Because it's in English.
He is the Italian stallion. And I'm not sure if you know this.
Citizen Kane?
Italy is not American.
Yeah. No, Sylvester Stallone is Italian?
Yeah, have you ever heard him talk? Yeah.
Hey, he played a giant shark.
Dude, that was his best role.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. So, excuse me. What we do in this part of the program is we take one of our ideas that we've already pitched to somebody, and they did not buy it. So we're going to take it, and then we're going to turn it into something that we would do, and then show you our process, really, how Dylan writes, the creative process that we do, the weird ways that we come up with stupid names for our characters, etc., etc. So, like always and anytime, if you have any comments whatsoever, please leave them below. Let us know what you're thinking. If part of our story is getting cool, tell us. It's probably my fault. If part of our story is getting cold,
oh yeah,
keep it to yourself. We don't need that kind of negativity around us. We have enough of that on our other show with Michael Colby, because he is a negative Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'd make him like inquisitive. A negative Nancy? Is that
Nancy? Is Nancy Drew cold?
Is she? Yeah. She's been dead for like 40 years.
Yeah.
All right. So Dylan's going to go into what project we're going to start working on this time, and probably spend the next couple episodes working on this thing all the way through. So
yeah.
Take it away, T-Bone.
I'll take it. Yeah, you can call me T-Bone from now on. That's what I'm going to go by. So, yeah, as Zach said, we like to expand on previous ideas here. Last time we did not Force Limit.
No. Sleeper Agent.
We've gone over this. We did Sleeper Agent, which was about people who deliver packages when they're asleep as part of this like cyberpunk dystopian nonsense.
What a cool idea.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And we ended it, so we're going on to our next project. The next project we're doing is taken from episode 33 of Talking UpStream. We had screenwriters David Wechter and Bruce Kimmel. You may know them as the people who wrote The Faculty, starring Jon Stewart back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, way back
Josh
then.
Hartnett.
Yes. A name that nobody brings up unless they're talking about The Faculty
the Batman that was once.
He was in that one like spaghetti western from like Japan.
Well, he was in Pearl Harbor.
Do you see that?
Bakuga?
Bakura? Yeah.
No.
No? Okay. Me neither. Anyway.
Are you talking about that card game you keep trying to get me to play that has little spinny guys?
That's a lot to unpack. Anyway, new project we're going to do is from episode 33 of Talking UpStream. You can go find that. This is the doc we're doing. The idea was apartment complex paranoia. It stemmed from a text message that Zach had sent me, where a character has a mind-reading device that kind of picks up thoughts from just kind of ambient, and it picks up thoughts of a murder.
Yeah.
And we had come up with this idea. It's a setting similar to the M. Night Shyamalan classic Lady in the Water, where it's an apartment building.
I thought you were going to say devil.
Yes.
Just tight knit.
Oh, sure.
But
yeah.
I guess not.
Lady
in the Water makes way more sense.
He directed it? I don't think he wrote Devil. He did one of the two. It was like a Tarantino Rodriguez style thing between... They couldn't see that there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Right on.
Dylan likes to hit me with a cowabunga every once in a while. When
So the main idea is that someone has created a device which will pick out thoughts from the ambient air around it and print it off with a neurosignature. You don't know who is doing it, but each one has a unique identifier. And one particular weekend, it pulls up the thought that, oh no, I just killed someone, or something equivalent. It pulls an incriminating thought out of the air.
Yeah.
And we had a few different ideas, primarily that there is a character the main character, and then he has like a Doc Brown, Marty McFly relationship with an older inventor or a mentor or something. Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I remember this particular episode, we had such a good interview that the idea took a backseat, which happened on occasion.
Yeah, I'll say, looking back on the 42 episodes that we have of Talking UpStream, this is one of the first ones that constantly pops into my brain as being so much fun. I remember them talking about this cocaine story that was so fun, and we really try to keep the interview part to like a bit of a minimum because we like the creation thing, but those guys were so just engaging and energetic that we really didn't get a whole lot of the idea down. But yeah, we pitched them two ideas. The first one was shopping mall Hunger Games, which is a cool idea because every time I see some shopping malls, like those kind of outdoor plaza strips, most of them are run down, except for a couple, the 2 or 3 stores that are thriving. But what they said was that was more of a setting and not a story. The other one we came up with was, like you have this invention that can make you hear/read people's thoughts. And I think one of the ideas that we had was that somebody else was inventing the same device at the same time.
Yes.
That someone had, murdered someone. And the thing was that you create this invention that you think is so important and so revolutionary. And the second you do it, you realize like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by crazy people. So I think that was really the precipice of what we were trying to do with this.
Yeah.
Now, I think the cool thing about this kind of story is that it really opens the door for a lot of quirky character development and a lot that can happen. And unfortunately, that also leads to some lazy writing sometimes, because if you watch Lady in the Water, you're like, oh, I wonder why that guy has one huge arm.
Yep.
And but yeah, okay, so we don't really have a whole lot, except that there's this inventor that lives in an apartment complex. They finally invent this machine, and they unravel that someone had just murdered someone.
Yes. We had a few plot beats spread out across a standard kind of 3-act thing.
Okay.
And I'm just going to read through that real briefly. So the main character has a thought-reading device, prints thought clouds from neural signatures. So it prints off a physical representation of what a specific person is thinking without naming that person.
Wait. It prints a physical thought?
On a piece of paper.
Like in words?
Yes. That was the user interface it had.
Okay.
It translated ambient thought energy into text on a page and printed it out.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
We started off with some fun thought reading shenanigans because this is a quirky, close-knit community. You have a U-shaped kind of like 5-story apartment block. Everybody has an inward-facing apartment over a communal like pool or something like that. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's got a quirk.
Mm-hmm.
A
lot of quirks.
It detects that someone is going to commit a murder. There is a young couple, and one of them is going on a trip. They're leaving. They're going to leave, and then a snowstorm rolls in. Bad snowstorm. It's gonna, we've got 48 hours of ice, sleet, snow. It's gonna keep you indoors. You can't go anywhere. Police can't show up easily. We have the murder kind of happen, and someone knows it has happened. Main character and their accomplice or friend or mentor or whoever, they put on a mixer to try and identify who's who, see if they can link up thought patterns with the person. Maybe it's a barbecue. It needs to be something they can do communally that does not require going outside. Maybe they have like a potluck at their like rec center or whatever.
Sure.
Murder happens. They suspect the victim is the doomsday prepper who lives down there. They have a reinforced door. They stockpile all their food and supplies and stuff like that. And they have to find the murderer because the thought has changed. So they don't have an easy way to kind of track who it is. Snowstorm arrives and it blocks in the apartment complex, so everybody's locked inside. Act 3, they thought the prepper was the murderer, but it turns out they just can't get a hold of them. They think maybe they're the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the victim is one of the couple, the one who was going to leave. They never actually went on their trip. It was just a convenient cover. Main character evades the murderer because the murderer is going to come find them, but they don't know who the murderer is still. Everybody gets together. They blame the main character because they think that because they're talking about having to try and find this person, they think maybe they're the person who committed it. Call the cops, but the phone lines have been cut. Device prints off that the murderer is at the meeting, and then we hadn't quite like fleshed out fully. So we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah,
we got a lot of work ahead of us with this, but we have a lot of freedom within this framework.
That's true.
And then we had a list of characters, and these were kind of like we just went through and figured out who might be fun to have as a member of this community. Mm-hmm. We had the main character. We had a police cadet who constantly gets heckled. We had a young unmarried couple who have dogs. We had someone who works a graveyard shift, so they're always up at night, sleep during the day. Single parent with children. We had a large family. We had the maintenance person who lives on premises. We had a happy elderly couple. We had a doomsday prepper who is known to like stockpile canned goods. They probably have a go bag. We had a couple of college stoners who are probably breaking some sort of residency ordinance by having more than the licensed number of people in their room. Mm-hmm. Someone, you see their apartment. They have like the living room curtained off because they have someone sleeping on the couch.
Yep.
And we have a senior citizen who's like a deadhead hippie pothead.
Cool.
Those are the characters we had, and I think we originally said that one of the young couple, the unmarried, one of them is the murderer, one of them is a victim. Don't know if we want to stick to that, but that's pretty much kind of the framework we'll be working in. We've got a murder occurs, main character and someone tries to figure it out, and then the murder, and then the third act is like an action scene taking place within the Snowden apartment complex.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So would you say that you like these rough plot points, at least where each of these acts are going?
I think we have a pretty good start. I am not overly attached to any of them.
All right, cool. So I guess now, where would you normally start when it comes to creating a story? Now, we don't really even know what style of story this is going to be. And one of the things that we do on Talking UpStream is try to figure out what this is going to be, whether it's a short film, whether it's a graphic novel, a board game, et cetera, et cetera. And then based on that, then we kind of restructure it to fit that mold. Now, knowing that we have a lot of characters and knowing that we have to at least swerve once or twice, do you see this being more of a series, or can this be a contained story?
I'm seeing this as, if it's episodic, it's limited.
Okay.
I'm seeing this as kind of a one and done, not an ongoing thing, not a long-term project. This is something that will be told in either a movie-length thing or like a few episodes kind of thing.
Cool. Okay, so let's just go with the understanding that this is going to be a feature-length film.
Yeah.
And not really try to set up a franchise with it, because why?
And I don't think it has a franchise concept. There's not you might be able to get a sequel where they take this to like an inventors convention and figure out something weird going on at the convention. Outside the scope of this project, this is a murder occurs in an apartment complex. Main character knows it happens, doesn't know who it is.
Cool. Okay, so I guess one of the first things we get to do is start understanding who this main character is.
Yeah.
Why do you think this person would would invent this device?
It could be some personal drive based on like wanting to help the world. Maybe very, very initial kind of rough thoughts could be something along the lines of like, I had a family member who was paralyzed and needed a way to express themselves. And there's a lot of ongoing stuff right now about reading brain patterns, despite the fact you may be paralyzed, and then somehow printing that off.
Okay, now what do you think about the idea of it being for nefarious reasons?
How nefarious?
Like, say they were inventing this to become like a villain, and inadvertently, while testing it, they uncover a murder, and they were only really going to like do it to like steal money. But this is
like
bigger than
like account passwords and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Sure.
like maybe they were doing it for white collar crimes,
Sure.
and when they were testing it in a joking fashion, they overheard a couple things, and then it's like, boom! Oh my god!
I like the idea of the character potentially starting off as a scumbag.
Yeah.
And then by solving this mystery, they grow and potentially aren't anymore.
I like that.
I don't want to go organized crime because the last project we did was organized crime.
No, I wasn't thinking organized crime.
Okay.
I was thinking someone that had almost a selfish, independent thought, not so much within like a group, but just kind of like, I can get further by myself with my smarts.
Yeah.
You love floating off screen.
I do.
It's one of your things.
Camera movement, man. It's called dynamic camera movement.
You are one of the most dynamic sitters I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild watching.
I can move my bottom half without the top half moving at all.
It's gross looking right now.
I know, it's great.
It's almost like the Mad Hatter in the second Alice in Wonderland. That weird
oh god.
crunk dance or whatever he does.
The worst movie that never mind.
Yeah.
I forgot the director's name, so the bit doesn't work.
It's gone.
Timothy Bergeron.
I think you're thinking of Timothy Chalamet from Dune.
I'm thinking the director of Edward Scissorhands.
Oh.
Tim Burton. Timothy Bergeron.
Timothy Bergeron.
Is that the main character of the story?
Yep.
Timothy Bergeron.
And like all good Timothy Bergeron movies, you got to bust out the Dutch angles and lens flares, says Red Flanagan. Okay, so now we have this character that wants to just kind of push himself ahead a little bit and invents this device that prints out just thoughts. Now, does it work in like a spherical, like a radius?
Yeah.
Right.
I think giving it a radius or at least some sort of range is a good idea.
All right. Now, their main thought is, I would assume that they work at what's somewhere where just information can put you ahead? I would say passwords, but then you still got to do like the legwork of the banking stuff. Like, what do you think is something that maybe like a casino?
Journalist? Are you thinking environment or job?
I'm thinking
like he's inventing this thing to take to work.
They're inventing this thing to make themselves money. But if you think about it, they can only use it to hear thoughts.
Yeah.
So in what area of the world will thoughts make you money?
I mean, I guess stocks, maybe.
Stocks, yeah. I guess I was thinking gambling. That was my first thought.
I guess. I don't know how reading the deal. Like my first thought is blackjack, and the dealer doesn't know when the card is coming up. So,
well, if you know what they have,
I guess
then you know how to bet appropriately. I would assume. All right. Well, let's just say that they came up with this device for some reason. We'll get there.
Nefarious money reasons.
Nefarious Dogecoin reasons.
Yes.
They can really listen to some Dogecoins if they hear people's thoughts. All right, so they have this device. They're building this device. What do they do in real life? What's their job?
Probably something they can work from their computer.
Yeah.
Do we want to set this in modern day?
Yeah.
So yeah, they work remote doing IT help desk. They're techie.
Okay. Yeah. So they're IT people. They work from home during pandemic. They've been tinkering with some other stuff, and they hop along the idea of, I think I can figure out how to print out brainwaves.
Yeah.
Now the first act, what we're trying to get to is the creation of the device to what end of Act 1?
I think they probably have it done by the start of it.
Okay, so we would need...
Well...
I guess we would need a push, right?
Or at least we see them testing it. They have an accomplice. The original idea had them have an accomplice or a mentor of some sort.
Yeah. Okay. So we obviously have to get through the apartment complex. This person has to. We have to meet the people that are here.
Yeah.
And I would assume the people in the complex are friendly.
Yeah, they are at least communal.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not against this inventor.
I don't think so.
The inventor's not against them.
Some of them probably aren't the biggest fans of them, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, it's that weird person.
Yeah, they're an IT person who just tinkers a lot.
Yeah.
So we need to give them a reason to meet a couple characters.
Mm-hmm.
We need to give them, I guess, a friend who. I'm assuming that they come up with the idea.
Red Flanagan says maybe they work for social media, a simpler version of thought broadcasting. Maybe having social media network data can help map the human mind for the thought reader device.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
That's cool. All right. So, yeah, I love that. That's great. Let's just use that. And so they're creating this thing for a different reason. And then that's when I would assume that they have a friend that's like, hey, you can use this for...
Yeah, their friend is the
slinky stuff.
The initiator.
Yeah. So now we have main character, we have main character's accomplice, we have people in the apartment complex. We still need, I guess, the push to, well, I guess if we know that they're a social media influencer, that's the push for why they're creating it. And they're creating it to, I guess, map thoughts, but how would you map thoughts through like social media?
I don't know if the device specifically uses social media. I think it is created to be a brain scanner of some sort, which is why my first thought was like to help people who are paralyzed communicate. But if we're making him a scumbag, he could work in medical technology, and this just happens to be the project he's assigned to. And his buddy comes over and is like, "Hey, you know what you can use this for, right? You can read people's minds and take their passwords and do all sorts of stuff." And the main character's like, "We could, but we shouldn't, right?" Their friend's like, "You shouldn't."
Now, is it the kind of trope where like the friend is the one who turns it on the first time without the inventor knowing about it? And they're like, "Hey, look what I found! Somebody in this building." And it's like, what was the radius set at? And the friend's like, "I don't know. I just turned it on."
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We could do that.
All right. Well, I think that works out a lot.
Millions of metrics based on social media forms a foundation for commonalities in people's thoughts. Not wrong. It could be. Yeah, I'm not opposed to the main character working in some sort of social media capacity.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're creating this device to push social media to the next level. Maybe they get some weird pseudo government contract by Meta because they are America's government.
Yeah.
And
yeah, right.
and then they have a friend, and the friend is like, you know what you could do with this.
Yeah.
And main character's like, yeah, I could influence the hell out of some social medias. And the friend's like, no. You can get passwords. And you can get codes. Codes? Passcodes?
Sure. Passcodes feels like a security thing.
That's all security. Government. Yeah. I don't like passcodes. I don't even like saying passcodes. I'm not sure why I said that.
So I like the idea. So we would start off with the main character finishing their prototype.
Yeah.
And they call their friend over. And they're like, "Hey, I finished the prototype for the thought reader.
Yeah. Can I test it on you?"
And the friend, yeah, sure, yeah. And let's see. And I'm just taking random notes.
Mm-hmm.
Finishes the prototype. Let's see. They call over friend and ask if they can test it on them.
Yeah, and maybe there's like a weird little montage of them testing it in different things. Like, and maybe they kind of like sort of drinking together or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, now what card am I thinking of? And they're like all giggly, like just reading each other's thoughts. And main character passes out. Friend turns it on, maybe under the guise of, I wonder if this will read dreams.
Sure.
And that's why they turn it on.
What if the friend recommends, like, hey, let's see if this can read dream. Like, let's see if we can, and then convinces main character to go to bed or the opposite or something.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm just trying to think of like the main inciting incident is that it prints off that someone in the building committed a murder.
Yeah, it prints off a bunch of stuff.
They turn it on with the radius that covers effectively the entire building.
Yeah,
and
I think the friend turns it on because the friend doesn't want their dreams known. So the main character's like, fine, just you can do mine.
Sure.
When I go to sleep, blah blah blah. And somehow through one of those, quirky movie mishaps, the radius, the decimal point gets moved.
I like that. I'm fine with that trope.
Yeah, I'm all about it. I don't know how it happens, but whatever.
What if they do a few targeted tests at the start, where it's just like, we have the radius set to this room, read my mind. They look at it, they do the whole like, oh, that's gross sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then for a larger scale test, they set it to the radius of the building, and they just have it run for like an hour, and it just prints off a long sheet of like neural ID thought this, neural ID 2 thought this, and then part of it is them. They're like, I can't believe we got this many results. It's going to take us a long time to read through this. Do we want to do this now? No, we're having a social or something like that. They go to the barbecue. They meet everybody. We get a little intro to everybody. We learn who everybody is, the dynamic of things. They go back to read through the results, and they're like, oh my God, someone in this apartment building killed someone recently.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it? And they look at the neural ID, and it's like, this doesn't identify who the person is. We don't have coordinates.
Yeah.
So we can't figure out
time.
We have a time of when it was thought, and we have an ID that's unique to whoever thought it.
Cool. So
now they have to go through and play like, this person thought about this person, so this person's not this person.
Yeah. So they got to make one of those big like grid X mark.
Yeah, it's
things.
like a logic puzzle.
Yeah.
Almost. They go.
Now I would assume they left it on because they know they're going to go to this party, and they want to, and jokingly they want to know what their neighbors think about them.
Yeah, sure.
And they go, oh my God, Vance does not like me. And they go, yeah, but so-and-so killed somebody.
Yeah.
Now, do we have like the thoughts of the victim?
Sure.
Because that sounds pretty graphic depending on what's going on.
It could be.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to show it specifically. We can just show them reacting to it.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so now would you say that this is close to like the results of the uncovering of the murder? Is that the end of Act 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's the inciting incident, which is general. Well, not the end of Act 1. The inciting incident is what kicks the story off. And so first 10 minutes, hey, I got this thought reader. I think the prototype's working. Small scale testing. Red Flanagan suggests montage scene of working out the device's versions for comedic effect. Yep.
100%.
Small scale testing. For some reason, I'm imagining a friend being played by Eric Andre. If we want their thoughts to be kind of like, come on, and he's like, he does that Eric Andre thing. He does. And then they decide large scale, long term test. We're gonna read everybody's thoughts. We're gonna come back and read the results after the barbecue. They go to the barbecue. We meet all the other people in the apartment building. We meet. They're kind of like, A and B are going off on a trip somewhere. C stayed in their apartment because they're a doomsday prepper. D is asleep. E, we establish a few different facts, so when they go through the logic puzzle, we can kind of like have them mark off. We know A is not this. We know A and B are married. So they're probably either they're the young couple or the old couple or the couple of college kids. D was asleep. That's probably the maintenance person who works at night, or the person who, yeah. So we have a few different options for who everybody is.
Yeah.
And then whoever's reading the results is like, whoa, hey, this is someone thinking about how they just killed someone. What do you mean? Well, this person just killed person F, just killed person G at 3:00. Wait, what? What time is it? It's like 4:50. Less than 2 hours. And then that's the 10-15 minute mark.
So would you say that the second act is a pseudo interrogation? Like it's them talking to the other people in the apartment complex to try to get some information, knowing that they can also read their thoughts later.
Yeah.
And that way they'll get the signatures from each person. They'll get random thoughts from every person.
We could definitely do that. It would be a lot of character work.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of character work, which is fine.
Yeah.
We would need to have kind of like, I feel like we would need to have subplots potentially figured out for a lot of these people, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, we would definitely need to give people all reasons they could have done it.
Yeah.
Motives, alibis.
We're effectively doing a murder mystery.
I'm okay with that.
I haven't done ever, maybe.
Have we ever done a murder mystery?
I don't know that we have. I haven't. Maybe I wrote one in college for a short story. I don't remember doing it. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. All right, cool. Murder
New
mystery.
experience.
Here we go. Okay, so we're going to turn this into a roughly 2-hour feature-length murder mystery where they know someone did it. They have technically a confession, a thought confession, and they got to figure out who did it. So they know that it happened while there was like this communal barbecue going on, this communal get together. Does it matter like what time of the year this is?
We had originally said it during winter so that there could be a snowstorm which keeps everybody local.
Love that.
Because there needs to be a reason that they don't call the cops.
Yeah.
Beyond, we have a thought reader that might be illegal in some way. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, would that be illegal? Is that invasion of privacy?
It's not legislated. Like, true. I mean, what are you could probably get them on something, but I don't know the law.
Yeah, because you're like, I didn't think that.
Yeah,
you did.
We don't have anything. We don't have any laws that are set up to deal with this sort of thing.
There are no thought laws.
Yeah, thought crime ain't a thing yet.
Thought crimes.
Yeah, like in what's that Tom Cruise movie where the psychics predict crime?
Last Samurai.
Minority Report.
Samurai
Report.
The last Samurai Report ever given.
Yeah.
Was about a minority.
It failed in theaters due to millennials.
I tell you, it's PC culture going mad. Okay, so we have a lot of characters. We have the push for everything.
Yeah.
Now, what do you want to work on next? Do you want to kind of flesh out what roughly Act 2 is? Because it seems to me that Act 2 is solving the crime. Act 3 is what to do with it now that it's solved.
Yes, Act 2 is solving the crime, and partway through, I think the murderer should catch on that people are looking for them.
Yeah, because they have no, even though they have a thought confession, they have no actual evidence.
Yeah.
So they kind of got to squirrel some evidence out of something.
Yeah. And there's some pursuit as well, where like they suspect they're being chased down. Like, that sequence where the murderer is like chasing them down through the apartment complex.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, jumping through windows and stuff.
Sure.
A lot of bathroom jumping.
Bathroom jumping. Is that like tub thumping?
It's it's like the generic version of tub
it takes a whiskey drink.
I'm not trying to get us in trouble here, buddy. This is all bathroom jumping.
Sure.
Okay, so let's see.
I think right now we are just in kind of the spitball stage of like finding out plot points. Like
what kind of murder?
Yes. Do we want to stick with the original idea where one of the young couple, one of them killed the other?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. We'll keep that. We'll pin in who did it.
I want to know what kind of murder.
Okay.
Because they won't know.
Right.
They'll know that someone was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
They won't know who. They won't know how. They won't know a lot of things.
Yeah.
They might know why. And that's pretty interesting.
They should have some sort of disconnected clues about what happened. They should not be relevant to each other.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think with a thought confession, you would have motive only. And that's an interesting way of solving a crime. I've never seen where you would solve a crime from straight motive only. Like, you know exactly why this person killed the other person.
Yeah.
You don't know who they are. You don't know how they died. You don't know anything else. But you know for a fact that's why they did it.
How long do they run the machine while they're at the barbecue?
I'll say like an hour, because
it needs to be long enough for the murder to be committed, but that their initial thought should be who wasn't at the social.
Yeah, at that time. Because people will be coming in and leaving. You know, like maybe like some people were fighting, so they went outside. There's so much like foot traffic that has to happen, because every single person that lives there has to pretty much have a motive, or I guess the timing availability.
Yeah.
And I guess some sort of reverse alibi. What's a reverse alibi?
Motive?
No, not motive. Like an alibi is like, I guess, spatial alibi. Like, you left this place for 7 minutes. You could have done it.
Oh.
I
still think like evidence.
Yeah, I guess it's just.
I don't know what opposite alibi is.
When you say some of the stuff I say to you back to me, it sounds real stupid.
Ibila.
I hate you.
It's like an alibi backwards.
Okay, so we have this party that everyone's at.
Red is suggesting maybe the device picks up on objects that are emotionally significant. Seems like a good way to get a breadcrumb trail with the people's keepsakes to provide clues and past events. I like it. On occasion, if someone is thinking particular thoughts about, like, maybe there's a specific, like, maybe the prepper is thinking about something they just got for they just obtained something.
Wait, so is do you think Red Flanagan is saying that things have like a resonance?
If it's important to the person, that will show up on the thought scan.
Okay.
Which is a good way to provide a few clues where it's like, well, person D is thinking about their water purifier. Person D was thinking about their reinforced door. The only person here with a reinforced door is Steve, because he has all his guns.
Yeah.
So that provides a really easy, you know how in a logic puzzle you have those really simple starter clues
absolutely.
where it's like, person D is married to Sandra. Sandra's husband is John. And then you're like, oh, okay, person D is John. I have a starting point.
All right, so when writing a murder mystery or when trying to put one of these together, how early do you think we as the creators should know who did it?
I think it's important to know the events that led up to the death, and then you need to start planting clues about that.
Yeah, okay. So you think that the most intriguing story in this setting would be a young couple, one murders the other one.
I think that's the original idea we had.
Yeah.
And if we have one of them go on a trip where it's like, yeah, I dropped so-and-so off at the airport this morning, then that could be a good diversion. Or it could be a red herring where the main characters are like, so-and-so said that they dropped off their partner. That's a really easy excuse to just be like, I got rid of the body, and then you have a few days to get rid of it. Yeah. And then they could always disappear on the trip.
Okay, so I guess we got to set up a timeline then.
Yeah.
So we know the murder happens at this party.
It didn't happen at the party. It happened before the party that day.
They were just thinking about it during the party?
Yeah. It was probably fresh in their mind.
But then that wouldn't really give us any clues whatsoever. Because earlier, if it happened during the party, then it could be who wasn't here at this specific time and trying to figure that out. If it happened way before the party and the person at the party is just thinking, oh, I killed somebody earlier.
Yeah.
That would really give us a lot of clues.
Right. We wouldn't start off with a whole lot of clues, I don't think.
So
they know that neural signature F killed someone in the apartment complex.
But not during that party.
Not during the party. So
Even
they had
a pretty good alibi.
They could have been someone. There was someone at the party.
Okay, so when did they murder this person?
That morning.
And the party's at what, like 3 p.m. or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a barbecue. Is it Thanksgiving?
No.
It's not a communal. This isn't a Thanksgiving movie.
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you like Thanksgiving movies?
I don't have a strong liking for them, but it's one of those holidays that very rarely gets its own movie.
Yeah.
It's usually incidental, like in Spider-Man 1 from Sam Raimi.
Solid Thanksgiving movie. Is there a holiday in January?
New Year's?
No, not this year.
No? Oh, yeah. No, we canceled it.
Right.
Yeah, it got canceled.
It's going to get leaped. Okay, so we have a murder that happened in the morning. Then we have a party that happened later on. Everyone's at the party. When they come back from the party, they realize, after looking at all the thoughts, that not only are there some weird stuff going on in this apartment complex, but that someone had murdered someone earlier that day. Now, I guess what we got to do next time is we're going to figure out all the people that are in this apartment complex and how some of them are missing.
Yeah.
Because we have to have at least 3 to 4 people not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that they can be like, well, did this person get murdered? Did this person get murdered? So we got a lot of legwork to do.
We get to do some real character work.
Character work.
Yeah.
So at the end of this, how many characters do you think we got to put together?
The original list.
Yeah.
Main character. Police cadet. Young married couple, which is 2. Graveyard shift. Single parent, at least 1 child. Large family. At least 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
Maintenance person, happy elderly couple. Prepper. College stoners, 3 to 4. Let's say 3 to counteract a large family. Senior citizen deadhead. It's like 17 people.
All right, cool. So we're going to need like 20-ish people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of problems.
Yep. A little fiasco web.
Little fiasco. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something to look forward to next Tuesday.
Well, plenty of content.
Yeah. No, Red Flanagan, I wasn't saying we should live in 2021 forever. What I'm saying is, like, it's been bad enough that we got to get to 2023 soon.
Did you send me an idea once where it was like it's a New Year's party and everybody's getting ready to say Happy New Year on midnight, and then when it rolls over midnight, it's just December 32nd?
Yeah.
Was that an idea we had?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just wondering.
Dude, we have some really good ideas.
It's not bad.
Honestly, we want to thank you guys for knowing that we have a lot of really good ideas. And thank you for listening to all of our great ideas and really helping us out, because without people like Red Flanagan, some of our ideas would not be that good. They're fine.
They're fine.
But old RF, he makes them better.
Yeah.
They make them better.
Radio frequency.
Oh, is that what that stands for?
RFID?
Was that a question?
Radio frequency? I dig.
You dig. Anyway, so next week we're going to work on all 20 of these characters, a murder, and
we're going to work on a murder.
We're going to work on a murder.
This entire show for the past year and a half has been a cover.
It's one long Cincinnati sidestep into me murdering Dylan.
Is that a ska band?
Cincinnati sidestep?
Sounds like a ska band.
No, that's like
it doesn't have a ska pun in the title.
No, you gotta have some kind of pun.
Neither does Real Big Fish.
Well,
I guess Real Big. Yeah, it is.
You can't reel a small fish. Really, the endings of these are just not that great anymore.
We stumble across this finish line every week. It's great.
I don't know why Dylan starts talking when we're trying to say goodbye. Because there we go. Okay, so Thank you very much. We do appreciate any and all attention that we get. Trust me, that is so true. I love it when Dylan leaves me on red, because that means that he read my messages. And that...
You got to turn those read receipts off, man.
No, I don't. I live by them. They're in my journal. Anyway, next week we're going to work on a whole bunch of stuff, so stay tuned for that. If you want to hear more of our stuff, we have Real Boys next Monday, where we're going to go over Dylan's #1 favorite movie, Inside Oscar Isaac, which Mike Colby is really looking forward to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Inside Llewyn Davis next Monday on the Real Boys. And what else?
Oh my God, is that the only show we're doing right now?
I think it's the only thing we're actually doing.
Well, I'm finishing up NaNoWriMo.
Yeah, you.
Novel writing month. I'm gonna cross that finish line. I'm only 10,000 words from it.
Yeah.
And then we'll be writing some more Some Nobodies stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got ideas. It's gonna be fun.
Wordvember's almost over.
Yeah.
Brovember?
Brovember.
No Brovember?
Branuary? I don't
only if you're poops week, I think. Brarch, yeah. That's when you eat brunch during the entire month.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate you, Red Flanagan. You are our favorite. Thank you. Other people we want to thank, obviously, our East Coast friends, Tanya Sheck and Tara Chakachik. Sarah Chakachik. Tara Sakachik. Yeah, that's weird when it happens.
That's okay.
I can't do it on purpose, but I can always do it on purpose.
Yeah.
So check out Jeff Dwoskin's show on Wednesday. He's a great dude. Look for anything that Jack Billings presents, no matter if it's a dirty bunghole or a filthy hotel or a filthy neighbor or a filthy music generation or a filthy video game or a filthy real boy. Really anything.
Just so greasy.
So greasy. But if you want to listen to anything else that Dylan has written, please go Create Your Own Podventure, CYOP Appeal. Dylan put together this cool 17 episode choose your own adventure style thing where you listen to episode 1, you do what you want. At the end, it's like, hey, you have a choice. Do one of these two things. Turn to a bear or go grocery shopping. Yeah, you can have one of those two things.
Life is full of choices.
That's true. This is one of these things, right? It's red
heart.
But it actually is a heart on my shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I did that earlier for Red Flanagan. This shirt's actually made out of Flanagan. Is that a thread?
No.
That's like plaid.
I think you're thinking of
flannel. I have been Zach. He's been Dylan. You've been great. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.